This is part 2 of my Street Fighter analysis series, and today I'm going to be taking a look at some series veterans, because let's just say they are a lot easier to at least cover, considering they're characters that are already kind of popular as it is. In my part 1 stream I just covered characters that weren't as popular, but are just as equally requested. And this stream is also dedicated to my homeboy Josiah, aka Gaming is Life. You should check out his channel, as he had a rather hilarious Street Fighter V Ken rant. Can't say I blame the dude. So the way that this series works is anyone that's into Street Fighter can chime in and sort of just ask which character they want me to take a look at for as like a potential candidate that could make it to Street Fighter V. Now, as we know, for the majority of this roster, half of the characters on this roster are already in Street Fighter V. But there are still some that aren't in the game. So, I think what I should probably do is... Alright. Well, I guess what I should probably do is, we'll take a look at Fei Long for now, until people join. Until someone joins, because he's probably like the only character that I'm 100% confident is going to be in Street Fighter V at some point. And the main reason for that is because, well, he's like the most popular Street Fighter 2 character that isn't in Street Fighter V at the moment, but we got everybody else, so might as well take a look at Fei Long. Right, so we're gonna look at his Omega mode specifically, which mostly keeps his moveset intact, but also because he gains 2 additional moves that, let's just say, opens up more combo potential for Fei Long. And I'm just going to say it right now, this is probably like my favorite version of the character gameplay wise. So I guess we should take a look at, yeah, let's use that. And fuck it, might as well have the good old Turkish oil boy.
Training stage. Destination confirmed. Are you ready?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh god. So yeah, Fei Long gains a couple new moves, but for now, let's just cover the moves he's had since Street Fighter 2. So, because he's like the first ever, at least I think the first ever, Rekka-style character in fighting game history, he naturally has all these Rekka-type combos and stuff. I did not mean to do that, just bear with me. So yeah, that's his good old-fashioned Rekka move. He's had that since his debut in Super Street Fighter 2. So that's the light version, here's the medium version, and here's the heavy version. Now, in Omega mode, the EX version of his move is slightly different. The only difference is, at the end, he does like a fire, like, punch at the end, so... Yeah, it does that. I mean, I could imagine a V-trigger for Fei Long in Street Fighter V, where it just enhances, like, his specials to have more fire to them. You know, similar to Ken in Street Fighter V and all that. What other move? Oh yeah, he also has... Wait, what? God damn it. Fucking hell. Yeah, it seems Nogget couldn't receive my link because he's not on the PS4, but ah well. Even if he can't get on, then at least he can like re-watch the stream if he ever misses it, so it's not a total loss. He can watch it at his own free volition. Now, I can't remember what the input for one of these moves is. I think it's a backward DP and a kick. Yeah, this is it. So this is sort of his, like, Shoryu, like, kick. He's had this in Street Fighter 2 as well, so... It's pretty good for anti-airing, I guess. I don't know how effective that is, so don't take my word for it. That's the light version. That's the medium version. Heavy. Shit. And wait, does he have an EX? Yeah, he has an EX. There we go. That's the EX version. So I'm gonna take a look at this command list, see what else I'm missing out. So we've done Rekaken and Shien Kyaku. And then there's his other move, which is Reku Kyaku. I think he's also had this since Street Fighter 2. I'm not entirely sure. Because the thing is, I don't know if this is a move he's had since Street Fighter 2, because I can't remember. But I do know that this is one of his signature moves. It probably is. Alright, so here's the light version, which causes a knockdown. This is the medium, which sort of like anti-airs, I guess. Yeah, it does. Does nice good free hits, and here's the... And... God damn it. And that's the heavy version. Which doesn't really knock down the opponent or anything, but it is good to, you know, do all kinds of stuff with that. And I think the EX version is... Yeah, that's the EX version. Man. Why do I get the feeling that if Fei Long does get in Street Fighter 5, he's just going to be an absolute beast? I say that, and then they just give us a watered-down version of this awesome Bruce Lee doppelganger. And then, of course, he has this move. I think this is another move he's had since Street Fighter 2, or if it's something from the Alpha games, I have no idea. I can imagine this being his subpar V skill, because in Street Fighter 5, some characters get really great V skills, like Gaming Life's main G, who has an insanely good V skill, though it's only good against like one-hit projectiles, but in V-Trigger 1, oh boy, that thing becomes a monster. And no one's fucking watching. Oh well. It's not a total loss. Okay, so I don't think there's a difference between these. Like, it just seems to have the same properties. You just get behind the opponent, and even the EX version is not that different, at least from my knowledge. Now in Omega mode, Fei Long gets 2 new moves. I had to, like, look up online what these inputs were, because the game certainly doesn't tell you these. Hang on, which is it? Okay. Well, quarter circle back punch gives him this move, which seems like it's good for extending combos, I guess. I can't remember what this move was called, but... it certainly has its uses, I'll give him that much. Oh, and this is his back throw. Here's his forward throw. Nice. Right, so for this new move, this is light. Medium. Seems to have similar properties, I guess. And the heavy. And then, of course, the EX. Oh, and he has a DP for his punch as well, which is this move. You can straight up 1-inch punch your opponent if you want to. But yeah, that's the light version. This is the medium. And... hang on. This is the heavy. And I think the EX version causes a wall bound. Yeah, it causes a wall bound. So you can just imagine this in Street Fighter 5 if they do decide to bring that move back. But yeah, that's most of the stuff Fei Long has. Classic Street Fighter 2 character and all. Now, if I had to come up with, like, V-Trigger wise, but knowing Capcom, they're probably going to give us one insanely good V-Trigger and one shitey V-Trigger. So, to go along with that mentality, he'll probably get a V-Trigger 1 where they finally, after so many years, use those nunchucks he's had since his victory animations in Street Fighter 2. Because think about it, he doesn't even use those things, so might as well finally put them to use in Street Fighter 5 if they ever bring him back. Second V-Trigger could be his counter, which is in this game, but a more shortened, straightforward version of it. I mean, because why not? We have a few characters in the game that have a counter-based V-Trigger. Might as well give that honor to Fei Long as well. And then just watch everyone use the nunchuck V-Trigger, which ends up becoming somewhat good. Alright. But anyways, moving on, the next character we're going to cover from Street Fighter 2 is DJ. I think I know a few people on my friends list that want DJ in Street Fighter 5, and I can't say I blame them. Like, he's the only Jamaican character in the series, and on top of that, he is a fun character to play as. Now I'm also going to look at his Omega Mode because he gains one new move, but his playstyle changes drastically as well. Because DJ, ever since his debut, was a charge character. He's always been a charge character, even in this game he's a charge character. But Omega Mode gives one major change to DJ's playstyle: his inputs. In Omega Mode, DJ becomes changes from a charge character to a straight up motion character powerhouse. Like, I'm not even joking. You know his slash, which used to be like, you hold back like briefly to charge like Gale's Sonic Boom, and forward punch to do that? Well, now I just have to go quarter circle forward punch and he does the move in Omega Mode. So this might worry some people. You should review Steph since XQ said he's coming to Street Fighter 5. Well, want to know the funny thing about that is some people actually don't believe that, and myself included. Like, it just sounds like a load of malarkey in my honest opinion. Like, Seth? Really? Like, I get Capcom tends to reuse assets in some of their games, but to reuse a final boss that hardly anyone gave a shit about? Yeah, right, I seriously doubt that. And the other thing that works against that rumor of his is the fact that he also mentions Gil, but the thing is, Gil's already been made a costume in Street Fighter 5 for Urien, who is in the game, so just seems a bit backwards. But yeah, DJ, like I said, he pretty much has access to all these moves. Yeah, he's the same guy that claimed that Guile's commander Brian Taylor was going to be in Street Fighter 5 Season 2, but look what happened there. That turned out to be wrong, and instead the commander character was Ed. Who, if I remember correctly, I think you sub-main him, right? Gaming's Life? I think you sub-main Ed, right? Alright, so... Okay, so these are DJ's normals. I guess for his up-close, like, heavy kick, that could be like a back input. Why do people even listen to Xkira? What's so special about him? I have no idea, to be honest, so I honestly couldn't tell you. Yeah, I think it would put off some people if DJ was just turned into a straight-up motion character for Street Fighter 5, since the appeal of him is he's a charge character. But, in my opinion, he seems to flow way better as a motion character, I'm not even joking. But yeah, here's his light air slasher, goes slow as you'd expect. Which is pretty good for moments like this. His medium travels fairly decently, and the heavy is the fastest. And you can throw these out like fucking... He'd be fun as a motion. I would sub him. Yeah. And here is DJ's EX Air Slasher. He fires off two of these things at once, but up close you have to input manually. like that. And for certain combos, it's really good as well. So, for example, if I do this, I can set up for that combo, which gives me 16 hits at least. But yeah, DJ is a lot of fun. Then there's his machine gun upper, which is his other most iconic move he's had since Street Fighter 2. So let's just get... Yeah, Omega DJ. So his light machine gun upper is like this, and you can rapidly tap the punch button afterwards to do a bit more damage. Now, in Omega mode, he basically just uppercuts the opponent afterwards, so it causes a knockdown. The medium version does this. Same properties, just a bit more hits, and here's the heavy version. Pretty much straightforward. And of course, as I showed earlier in that combo showcase, the EX version does that. His other move is, of course, this move. I think this is, knee or something. I can't remember what the name of this move was, but I'll call it, rolling Sobat, I think it was called. Double rolling Sobat, that's what it was. So this is good for ending combos at least. Isn't Omega cheat mode? Well, in my opinion, it's cheat mode for some characters, since it makes them vastly OP as shite. But in DJ's case, I wouldn't exactly call it a cheat, it's more just a change in, like, inputs, so he really only gains, like, one new move, but even then, that one new move is only useful for some situations. At least in my opinion, I don't really know much. Oh yeah, he also has that, so that's good for going under projectiles. I actually forgot about this, down heavy. Okay. So double roll. So here's light rolling Sabat. Double rolling Sabat, I mean. Yeah. Here's the medium rolling, double rolling Sabat. And here's the heavy rolling double Sabat. And, of course, here's the EX version. Which does that, apparently. Alright, the other move that DJ has is Jackknife Maximum. What's the input? Yeah, you see, that's the problem. Yeah, I had to look up most of these damn moves online to know what the different inputs were. But for now, I guess we can just... Genpros Fireballs from... Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, the one brand new move that DJ gets is a move called Waning Moon, and it looks something like this. And it's done with a half circle back and any kick button. I guess the only difference is really the startup, but even then, it looks identical to one another. And here's the EX version, which gets 2 hits in. Ah, there it is. It's a DP. Okay, so this is light Jackknife Maximum. No. Okay, just 1 hit. Here's the medium version, which does 2 hits. And of course, the heavy version. It cooperates. Damn it! Which does 3 hits. And of course the EX version is... Damn it. Yeah, I can see why motion DJ would be somewhat of a problem. God damn it. Okay, there's the EX version, which does roughly 9 hits. 7 hits, actually. Yeah, motion DJ would be a killer. He would. His combos would be insane. They would. Just imagine that with like the V system. I mean, waning move could be an input move, but I have a feeling if they make DJ playable in Street Fighter V, they'll just turn that move and then make it a V skill or something, or maybe they'll give him something that affects like his specials or something. Like his air slashes, for example, might get enhanced. Actually, that could be a V-trigger. Like, V-trigger 1 for DJ could be, like, a V-trigger that enhances his special moves, at least, you know, in a similar vein to Guile at the moment. And his V-trigger 2, I guess, could be something to do with the fact that he likes to dance and make music or something. I don't know. Maybe something that makes his combos more insane than they might already be. But yeah, that's all I can really think of. And also the fact that he's also good at dealing with projectile users, because not only does he have his own projectiles, obviously, but he also has that down heavy, which can go under projectiles, so that's also good for people that might like using DJ. But, of course, they probably do. He's a series regular, after all. His EX charge kick. Which one? Which one? The double rolling sub art or jackknife maximum, which is his DP, which is, god damn it, which is, I'm trying to do the input, but for some reason the game doesn't want to cooperate. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you probably mean his double rolling sub art. I mean, it's it. Ah, okay, that one. But yeah, I think DJ would be a lot of fun to have in Street Fighter V. I mean, he'd round out the Street Fighter 2 characters nicely along with Fei Long. At least if they chose, you know, one of the two, at least. Okay, I'm gonna try a combo and see what happens. Damn it. Alright, stunned. There we go. I mean, it's probably not the best. He's the coolest new challenger, man. I know, right? Like, here's the interesting thing. Like, during the development of Fei Long and DJ and all that, Capcom were just gonna basically make them two brothers. So in other words, the Ryu and Ken of Rekka characters, with a head swap. But some guy at Capcom USA suggested to make one of the characters a Jamaican kickboxer and the other one and basically the twins were gonna be Bruce Lee homages. They were gonna be clones. But thanks to this guy at Capcom USA, I forgot his name, but he's the one that came up with DJ, both in the design, gameplay, and stuff like that. And thanks to him, we avoided another clone situation in Street Fighter 2. Of course, that didn't stop Capcom in the future, as we got like 11 or so Shota clones in the franchise as a whole now. Right. And the final Street Fighter 2 character to look at is, of course, T-Hawk.
Who will walk away victorious?
They should add Elena. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna have my phone on just so I can take a look at what stuff got added to Omega Mode, so that way I know which stuff to look at for when I'm covering this shit. I don't know if there's anything different with T-Hawk in Omega Mode. Yeah, it really is. Omega Mode should have trials. Yeah, I agree, it should have, because it doesn't even tell you the inputs for half of these new moves, so you have to, like, guess them, or just look them up online, and luckily this stuff came out during the whole online stuff. Right. Where the hell do you think this? Hang on, I'm just gonna look up event scrubs, since they actually put down the commands for these moves. And whilst that's loading, so as we all know, T-Hawk is like Fei Long and DJ. He's been around since Super Street Fighter 2, was brought into, I think, like, some console versions of Alpha 3, and he got brought back for this game, so he's been semi-recurring, in that respect at least. Right, where is it? Ah, here it is. Now, gameplay-wise, as we know, he's a grappler. He's an absolute powerhouse. And also the fact that his stance always cracks me up because it looks like he's a reject GJ. Yeah, he was in Alpha 3 Max, and all that. Okay, is there anything new with this guy? If not, then... Ah! He seems to have one new move on this. Right. So for now, let's just cover his regular specials. So, oh my god, he looks goofy as hell. You want him? Oh yeah, he also has a forward heavy that does that. I forgot about that. So in the air, he has this move called Condor Dive, and he's had this since Street Fighter 2, I think. Now that I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like Alex's critical art. Maybe that's where they kind of just decided, yeah, let's just do that. Right, so here's the light, which doesn't have much distance. Medium, which has a bit of distance, actually. And the heavy, which just hits forward, so I'm guessing this is good for, like, aerial combos or anti-airing. Probably not a good anti-air, I mean, considering you'd have to jump yourself or whatever. And here's the EX version, which has the same properties as the medium, but he just goes down much faster, at least from my knowledge. Yeah, he goes down way faster. The other move is Condor Rise. Okay. That looks like a new move he got in this mode. Oh, I think I got an idea on what this could be used for. Like, as useless as it is good for, like, setting up Condor, like, dive if you're in a hurry. So you could cancel your stuff into that. So yeah, if he gets in Street Fighter 5 over DJ, potentially, or Fei Long or whatever, then this could be his V-skill. As useless as it might seem, but it is decent enough to kind of set up the Condor dive in a hurry. Yeah, it could be used to evade something, like projectiles, and then you can set up his Condor dive afterwards to punish, you know, if the opponent has got slow reactions anyway. What else? Condor Spire, and if I remember correctly, I think this is a move... Yeah, he's had this in Street Fighter 2 as well. So that's the light version. This is the medium. And this is the heavy. It doesn't seem like there's much of a difference other than maybe distance. No. That's light. That's medium. And that's heavy. Yeah, it seems to be the distance that's the difference. And I'm guessing this probably has armor on it? Probably. I mean, he's a big dude, so they tend to have armor. Earth Rage. What's that? Okay, that is a new move. Okay, so light, medium, heavy, EX. Oh my god, that it kind of reminds me of the V skill that Nakali has in Street Fighter 5, where all he does is hit the ground. Yeah. And since he's a grappler, naturally T-Hawk has a lot of grappling moves. More specifically, his special move, Mexican Typhoon. I'm not even joking. So this is the light version. This is the medium. And this is the heavy. And I think he has an EX. Yep, he has an EX. That's how it looks in Omega mode, but I think it looks way cooler. Oh yeah, he also has some command normals, I forgot about that. So I guess this is good for cross-ups and all that. Oh, he also has a DP as well. For some reason the move list didn't mention that, but then again it's Event Scrub, so... Yeah, he has this move, this tomahawk thing. So that's the light. That's the medium. There's the heavy. And here's the EX. Right. Elbow drop, so he has that as a command normal. Not sure why it's not connecting. Maybe it's because Kami's a lot smaller or something like that. Or I'm just not hitting it right. Hunting Hawk, which is the command normal I just did earlier. And Thrust Peck. Right. V-trigger wise, I can at least see T-Hawk, like, if he gets in over DJ or someone else, then I guess something that could make his combos, like, I don't know, enhance, like, his Condor-based special moves, and then the other one could just be a new command grab move or something, because even in Street Fighter 5, characters get brand new moves. And stuff like that. Okay, so that covers the characters from Street Fighter 2. So now it kind of leaves us to look at the others. Yeah, they could do that. They could have a V-trigger where T-Hawk could combo into, like, his command grabs like Zangief. I mean, they could do that. Because the thing is, at least with like Fei Long and DJ, you can come up with something based on their motifs, their designs, or personalities, and then make that into their moods. But with T-Hawk, there's not really much you can say unless they give him new moves. Also, his design just screams, do you get that he's a Native American? I think he's like the least popular, like between him and DJ, he's definitely the least popular from a design standpoint, but whatever. So, now that we've got the Street Fighter 2 stuff out the way, this means we can move on to the games afterwards, like Alpha, 3. I already did a few characters from Street Fighter 3 in my first stream, at least the ones that didn't make it to this game. His professional is man. His professional man. Okay, so you can suggest whichever character you want, and then I can look at it and then see what they could bring to the table for Street Fighter 5. If, you know, they decide to, well, bring anyone over, I guess. So that kind of leaves us with characters from the Alpha series, characters from Street Fighter 3, at least the ones that made it in this game, and of course the characters that make their debut in this title, like Jury for example, but we don't need to cover her because, well, she's already in the game and so is Poison. So that just kind of leaves us with a few options in terms of Street Fighter 4 representation. So which character do you want me to cover now that we have like the Street Fighter 2 characters done? Alpha. Okay, so in this game, in terms of Alpha representation, we've got Evil Ryu, but we don't need to cover him because we have Kage as his replacement. Unfortunately for me. We have... Where are the Alpha characters? Okay, we don't need to cover Cody because he's in the game already. So... And the same goes for Sakura. She's in the game as well, so... That just leaves our Alpha options with Relento, Guy, Rose, Adon, Gen, and Dan as our Alpha options for this game. And then once I get around to my another stream next time, then I can cover Sodom, Julie, and Junie, since they didn't make it to this game. Right. Gen is dead though. I know, right? But considering it's like Capcom and all, they could just put him in anyway into a future title, so who knows? Plus, fan bases can be stubborn. Even if a character is dead, they'll still want them in. I mean, with Nash in Street Fighter 5, you can understand, because, you know, he's already dead himself, but they at least told you how he got brought back from the dead and all that, albeit half-assed, but whatever. So from Alpha, who do you want me to look at then? We got like 6 or 7 options at least. Dan ain't getting in. I mean, no, I mean, I don't say I blame you. I mean, as much as I like Dan, I only like him, like, premise-wise. Like, he's a joke character and is the pioneer of joke characters. Because without him, we probably wouldn't have gotten characters like, say, Faust from Guilty Gear. Oh, you forgot one Alpha character. Did I? Let me check. Wait, again? Rose. No, I didn't forget about Rose. I did mention her. So yeah, from Alpha, we could cover Adon, Rose, Guy, Dan, Gen, and, well, Relento. I think Relento would be dope as hell in Street Fighter 5. Because think about it, he's got all these weapons, all these type of military combat skills, and you could easily design a moveset for him with Street Fighter 5's, like, mechanics and stuff. Because think about it, he's got grenades, he has that stick he uses to beat your ass with. He has landmines, tripwires, all the knives, all this other crazy stuff. I changed my mind. Cover other Street Fighter. I don't want any of those, lol. Shit. Okay, well I've done 3 characters at least for this one. I don't know why my other one took as long as it did, considering... Maybe it's because I went more in depth. You made Relento sound cool. Okay, fuck it. We'll cover Relento then. Might as well. Right, I don't know if he gets anything new, so we'll have to take a look. And of course, we'll have him face off with, I don't know, Guy or some shit. There we go.
Training stage.
Because apparently, Ono himself likes Relento's playstyle. So...
Let's get started. Fight!
Right, so... Relento is one of those characters that hails from the Final Fight series, and he made his Street Fighter debut in Street Fighter Alpha 2, and has since then become a fan favorite. So, his first move is, of course, the god damn it. What's it called? Okay, well, first let's look at Stinger. So, Stinger is done with a DP input, which is... Okay, there it is. With a kick button, and then afterwards, if you press a punch button, he can throw a knife, so this is the... I'm not trying to do that. So that's the light version. That's the heavy. And that's the medium. So the distance is just based on like which button you press afterwards. It doesn't really matter which button you input for the Stinger input. It's just the exact same. Oh my god, I'm not trying to do that move. Okay, yeah, the heavy version of Stinger makes him throw a knife immediately. Okay, never mind, it probably doesn't. Oh, and he also has a down heavy that could potentially go under projectiles, so I could be misjudging that for all I know. Oh yeah, and his EX version makes him not only advance forward, but you can also... Oh my god, what even is that input? But he can also throw multiple knives afterwards. So the light does that. Oh my god. What even is that input? Like, I'm trying to do a DP, but it keeps doing that. Right, that's the medium. And that's the heavy. Oh yeah, and then kick buttons also work too. What even is his inputs? Trick rod, spike rod, trick landing. Right. So yeah, the kick buttons seem to respond to... For the EX version, makes him throw the knives downwards, and then the EX version of the punch one just makes him throw the knives forward. But yeah, I think Relento would be cool to have back in Street Fighter V, just because of his insanely fun playstyle. So he also has this forward advancing like normal, which is done by pressing forward and medium kick. He also has that, so you could just pogo stick off of the opponent's head. that was forward throw, back throw. Right. What else does he have? Mekong Delta Attack. So he has that as well. Which is probably one of the best moves he has. At least in terms of faking out the opponent and stuff. I don't know. I'm not an expert. But yeah, this is done by pressing 3 punch buttons and he will do this roll, which you can then follow up with a punch button of any strength or whatever. So here's the light, here's the medium, heavy, and here's the EX version. Right, then we have Mekong Delta Air Raid. And yes, it allows them to hop off the wall and perform a move afterwards. And punch buttons are also quite useful for this. I don't want to change characters. Oh, this is Mekong Delta Air Raid. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this is the light version, this is the medium, this is the heavy, and of course this is the EX. I can already see the uses for this thing. Oh yeah, and we also looked at the Mekong Delta Escape, which is this move. And of course, we have the Patriot Sweeper, which is his Wrecker. Which, like Fei Long's Wreckers, can be done up to 3 times. Well, actually, it depends on which version you use. So yeah, that's the light version. This is the medium version, which lets you do up to 2 times. And here's the heavy, which lets you do up to 3 times. And of course, the EX version. Which also gains some new properties in Omega mode, apparently. And Relento gains some brand new moves, so he gains a new move, I think it's called Indomitable Revenger, so that's a backward DP, and from the looks of this animation, it seems to be a counter for attacks and stuff. And the backward DP makes him instantly attack, so if he can't be asked to do the counter, then he'll do the move right afterwards with the EX version. And yes, it's a straight up Shoryuken. So judging from the light, that might counter low attacks, medium might counter, well, middle attacks, and the high is possibly the one that counters low, like air attacks. And the EX, like I mentioned, that like attacks straight away. That's if I can get the DP to work. He also has a move called Scouter Jumper, apparently. Which makes him, like... Well, I'll keep watching, hopefully in the morning. I'm passing out here. Good night. Okay, good night, birthday boy. Okay, so here's Scouter Jumper. Which is basically similar to his other move. Snare Mine, which is one of his new moves. Okay, I'll end the stream right away. Hope you enjoyed. Okay, so here's Snare Mine. That's the light version. That's the move I kept doing by accident. This is the medium. Lost distance. This is the heavy. This is the heavy, which has a long range right there. And this is the EX. Stinger Jump, which is what I've been doing, you know, for a while. Wall jump. Right, so V trigger wise, I can at least see that, like, a V trigger where Rolento just rolls back while planting landmines, which are good for setting, which would be good for setting up combos. And then maybe V trigger 2 could be utilizing those tripwires, or gain new a grapple move where he just strangles you with a wire or something. I don't know. Anything that this crazy mad military nutcase would use. V skill wise, I can at least see the Stinger move being a V skill. Like, I can at least see the Stinger be a V skill. And then, of course, yeah, wires are cool. Yeah, I definitely think Rolento would be an awesome addition to Street Fighter V. To be honest, I think he'd add a lot more to the game in terms of playstyles, to be honest. Anyways, I'll end the stream right now, and I hope everyone enjoyed. Because, you know, you and Josie are passing out, so I might as well end the stream. Yeah, good night. Hope you do well, I guess. Right. Oh, God, my fucking stomach. Damn it.